Happy evening, friends. Interviews with series of interviews with architect. Today we are going to meet Mr. Ravhee. He is into design squares, interior and architecture. Welcome, sir. Happy evening.
Thank you. Thank you. I heard about this and nice of you to come and just discuss what you want to know.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Tell me about yourself, sir.
Well, I'm Ravhee Laddha, and this is my firm called Design Squares. We are into architecture and interiors. And I am in Chennai since '97, and before that I was in Bangalore. I did my architecture in Maharashtra. I am born and brought up there, and been in Chennai almost more than 20 years. So it's been a good journey. We done a lot of different kind of projects. We'll discuss about that.
Thanks.
See, we are into architecture and interior. So everything connected to architecture interior to ensure that the project is complete. For example, if it is architecture, then I need to provide integrated structural, electrical, plumbing, and other services, landscaping, all put together. In interior, again, I had to make sure that all the services are integrated. Today's projects are all with lot of technology. All services are involved. It is not keeping a table and a chair. It is lot more than that. So we need to use the right consultants, sub-consultants who can integrate our design with the services and make it a proper functional and aesthetically beautiful office.
I think I heard about your ancient architecture. Some of the buildings you are concentrating on is ancient buildings.
Yeah.
How you chosen that concept? So, is there any specific difference between the ancient architecture with the modern architecture?
See, I would say it is not actually ancient architecture that way.
Okay.
I would definitely like to restore on the existing buildings. That is what I want to propose to various people. The historical value, we don't assign historical value to a project, to any, but it has its own value. For example, a building which is 100-year-old has a very important historical value attached to it. Okay. Demolishing that to make a new structure there, somehow I don't like that idea, and I feel such buildings must be preserved. Unless they are in a state where they need to be demolished because they are structurally become so weak, or some fire accident happen or anything happen, then you are forced to demolish it. Yes. If the building is in a decent structure, lot of ways that we can restore it. Okay. Mainly these buildings will have two main areas of problems. One is waterproofing. Modern amenities will not be available, like restrooms and other things, and it may have too many walls. These may be the most of the problems any old building will have. But I think all this can be addressed. Okay. We can address. We have a lot of materials and technology available where this can be addressed. One of my favorite project in this category was for South India surgical we done. Oh, it was an old building, more than 80-90-year-old building. And initially the client was saying maybe we can dismantle, we don't know how that building would be. And then I was very strong in the convincing to client that we must restore, because this value we will not get. Yes. Getting a 2-foot wall thickness of a building is not something that you can make today. Definitely. So why dismantle it? Why break it? As long as it is, I can serve your requirement. I can plan the things in such a way that the requirement is fulfilled. Yes, so if that is done, why do it all that time? So that is my interest towards ancient buildings, and I generally find that the buildings which are of ancient nature, everybody knows that these buildings have a very high architectural thinking. We may not believe so, or many people don't want to think in that category, but you look at the temples or you look at our old buildings, they are not less than a skyscraper. Yes. We after invention of concrete and steel and other things, skyscrapers have started and everybody following that. But we had already created this using the materials which were available at that time. So in terms of technology and in terms of creative thinking, I will say that this architecture was far ahead than its time. And we should respect that and should see that how we could use it to best and how this could be preserved in the best condition, because these are some things to learn to us.
Super.
Yeah.
You have done many projects in all over India, sir. How you are managing all the projects?
You need to allocate a project. You have to have a right team who understands what you are thinking. Over a period of time, people have been, trained, or even if a new person joins, I ensure that I interact with him directly, and we give them a proper training so that they understand the importance of design, and accordingly the projects on the project.
Why I'm asking you, you need to go all the way to the project side. That's why I'm asking.
It is not so in today's time. You will be surprised. For a project, say an interior project is where actually you need to travel more, and that is a very large area of people thinking that interior project architect must visit every 3 days, every 1 week. If he's not there, project will not happen. How people will coordinate? I think these are all more of misconceptions. If your drawings are correct, if your visualization is correct, people will at site will not face problem. If my drawing is correct, I don't have to go to site to explain a drawing. Okay, now over a period of time, and normally we work with people who are experienced enough to work, number one, who can read the drawing, first of all. So the people who can read the drawing can know how to execute. So we are working with a fairly, scaled down, or you can say a pre-qualified kind of a criteria who can execute a project, and then we ensure that the drawings are correct. So if it is so, in a project which probably, say our projects are generally fast track, 1.5 months, 1 month the project will be over. So my visits would be probably 2 or 3 kind.
Yes.
But based on the drawing, everything happens. Any doubt is there, they call back and they take a clarification. That's it.
Super. You come across several corporate clients. What is the difference between the corporate clients and the individual clients? How you are feeling with the corporate clients?
My experience actually is more with corporates. At times I find that there is no constraint of, there is no limitation of time. Okay, and what happens in corporate? There is a huge emphasis on time. A project must get completed within a time, and this is what I like to work with corporates for. And that is the only reason I sometimes don't like to work with individuals who cannot decide. Okay, or nor who will give us freedom to decide. Either you decide or you give us freedom to decide. If there is a freedom to decide, then it is very easy to manage with individuals also. If there is a freedom given, okay, you design, you take the color scheme. What we need to understand from a client, what is his lifestyle? I am talking about individual client. What is his lifestyle? What is his aspiration? What is the purpose of doing this project?
Okay.
And if these 3 things are conveyed to us in a proper fashion, we can find out what is the most suitable design criteria for him. Work upon a design which will suit him, which he will feel happy for rest of his life. In our Indian traditions, normally we consider houses are done once in life category. So you have to fulfill his dream, which he is going to cherish for rest of his life. Given that as a criteria, we need to know what is his general lifestyle is. If we can address it in design, then he will like to live there for rest of his life. No, he will not like to change, or even if he changes, he changes in a similar category for some other reason. Say house is changed, maybe he overgrown the house or something like that. So that may be the criteria, but otherwise I think it is not. As long as the client knows what he wants to do, we are happy to work with anybody.
Super. Do we have any specific system for understanding their needs and desires? Sir?
We do ask questions.
Okay.
We do ask questions. We try to understand whether it is individual or whether it is corporate. We have a kind of requirement list already created.
Okay.
And with so many years of experience now, more than 30 years of almost experience coming now, it is now everything is set in your mind. Very easy to ask a few questions and the
Yes.
thing how it will happen afterwards. Will pan out.
Okay. Super.
Yeah.
You have done many township projects also. What is the challenges you are facing in township projects?
I have not done that many township projects. I have conceived a few earlier in my earlier career. What I normally think in a township project, leave the earlier stage. Now I am relating township project to futuristic approach.
Okay.
Where we are heading to. What is that a township should be catering to? There are a lot of questions which need to be now answered. We cannot live the way we used to live 30, 40, 50 years ago. The next generation cannot live like that. And we cannot live the world in the same state what we are currently living with.
Yes.
The kind of wastages are happening all around us, the kind of energy losses happening all around us, the kind of traffic plan is happening, the so-called smart city concept what is been projected, it is more than required in today's time that we should study proper sustainable architecture and proper smart city projects.
Okay.
Smart city, I mean there are few ways of smart. One is a man becoming more smarter, not your phone becoming smarter. And that is the difference I would like to see when it comes to projects. As a human, how smarter we are becoming,
Okay.
and how efficiently we are using the existing resources to minimize the use of these resources. The natural resources available today are not going to last for now another 200 years or 100 years. And it is high time that our generation, this generation, start thinking about it and start working towards it so that these resources are not further depleted. And the projects, the township projects which should come up now, should consider all these aspects.
Okay.
That means creating energy from waste, using the energy in such a way that we don't take back anything but we give back. The township to be designed on a zero energy criteria, that I don't take anything from anywhere and if possible I'll give back, but I will surely not take anything.
Okay.
I will see that my township is self-sustainable even for agriculture produce.
Super.
Why not? There is a group community agriculture created. If there is a 100-acre plot, as per the development you can do so many development. Out of that, if you just create maybe around 10% for agriculture, which is dedicated for these people. The people who are living this should use that agriculture direct produce, have a good healthy food, which is organic, full of nutrition, and the technology is there today to help you to automate the complete plantation. There are so many technologies which are available. We can use that, get a produce which will feed to the entire 100-acre people who are there, who are going to live there from this 10-acre land itself.
Super.
So the township today should think about it. The waste collection, the water usage, recirculation of water in the same facility, so that we don't waste any water. And many people already talking, the next world war may happen because of water, or something may happen because of this energy. So why not work on that? It is high time that we all start work towards it. Yeah.
And you have done many projects for banking sectors. Huh?
Yeah.
How you chosen these banking sectors?
It so happened when I came to Chennai, I did not have any other thing first to approach other than the bank. So it just happened to be my first initial tries where I could get in, make a presentation about what work and what experience I have.
Okay.
And this sector actually gave me the first breakthrough. Without any background in the city, I did not know anybody in the city when I came to Chennai. So whom do you approach?
Okay.
Just like that, where do you walk in? So this is one sector I thought I can walk in. There is a kind of retail and there is a kind of corporate culture, both fitted into this sector.
Banking sector.
Whom I could talk to easily and make them convince them
Okay.
to give me project, and it worked. So that's how the experience started.
Even they are giving business regularly now.
Yeah. So it was a regular business. We did a lot of banks and multiple branches we did for them. For all over South we did for many of the banks.
Are we concentrating in building eco-friendly buildings?
Yes, this is an area which is I would say is I'm passionate about.
Okay.
Okay, and what I spoke about the sustainable architecture and smart integrating with sustainable, the eco-friendly is also coming under the similar category.
Okay.
Okay, now eco-friendly is what we 100% have to adhere to. There is no other much go. Technology is there and it is doing wonderful breakthroughs every now and then. So at one end, technology is growing phenomenally.
Okay.
And it is changing our life. But we need to use the technology with what is eco-friendly requirement. Now, for example, if there is a machine which can produce water out of air. Okay.
Yes.
There are some machines which are getting developed in this category. Now, only thing, it may look very interesting today and it looks very useful solution, because you are just taking some humidity from the air and you are converting to water. The question is that if everybody does it, what will happen to the climate?
One day everything will be
What we are talking about climate change this is what leads to. Technology is there, it will help you to cover out of some problem.
Yes.
But is it leading to a bigger problem? If there is a research done well in advance on this, what are the further effects or after effects of this technology, then I think we need to be wise and we need to be choosy, and government have to be proactive in choosing the right solutions for the problem.
Yes.
Then only we can save. See, I may say happily today, what is there, my life is half done, some more 30-40 years, nothing is going to happen to me, I am going to live happily. But I think that's not the right thing that we are going to do. We have to leave the world in a better living condition for the next generation. It is our human responsibility to pass on, like we pass on the wealth. We work our life and we pass on some wealth to be passed on to our children.
Yes. The same should be for the community also.
Good earth is also our more responsibility in transferring the wealth. He can create a wealth on his own, but he cannot rectify or he cannot change the earth what you are giving in a deteriorated condition to him. Why he should spend his life in rectifying the damages that we have created? Let him spend his life in creating wealth, but let us rectify the issues of the earth now.
Is there any specific project that you are awarded for that?
We have been recognized for many of our projects by the client generally. I have not really gone into this award, system and things like that. So I have been more shy towards it. I didn't really like to get into that. But I will tell that many of my clients have complimented us in a very, very large way. For example, Philips is a project that we had done.
Okay.
And Philips being a lighting company,
Yes.
initially the client told us that don't bother about lighting, we will take care of the design. But we had a very strict timeline to perform.
Oh.
And we told the client, see, we shared already the drawing and please give your suggestion. And for some reason it did not happen. Then I said, you leave it to me. What is that you want? As far as lighting is concerned, you let me know. So he said, okay, the 350 lux we want on this, and here we want 500 lux and things like that. I said, okay, leave it to me. And because of my experience and other things, I did the design and we gave it to them. After the project completed, the project manager tells us, good that we didn't do design by ourselves. Your design is better than our
Super.
So, I have been receiving such compliments from many of my clients.
Okay.
Okay, for CTBC Delhi, we did a project. It was a very complicated site to work, very sensitive area, VIP area in a Connaught Place. You can't work, and historically also important area. Many restrictions, and I accepted a challenge of getting it completed in a timeline.
Okay.
That time I did not know, and this was my first project in Delhi. I did not know these other problems and challenges that I may face. After I signed off, the project manager comes and tells me, Ravi, do you know what you signed? Do you think that you have not worked in Delhi? Do you think you can deliver like this to work in such a sensitive area? I said, sir, now I signed. You should have told me before that take 1 week, 10 days grace time. I would have done it. You didn't tell me that time. You didn't give me any hint. When the CEO is asking me, how can I say no, I will not deliver?
Okay.
I have to accept that I will deliver.
Definitely.
And I already delivered for you in Chennai. He said, yes, you delivered in Chennai, but this is Delhi, Connaught Place. You can't work like that. Okay, sir, now done is done. Nothing I can go, and I will not go back. And believe me, we delivered on the day it was signed. Amongst all the step competition of difficulties, working with Delhi vendors there whom I did not know at all, and also we had to coordinate with the Taiwan office for all the approvals.
Okay.
And everything happening simultaneously. And we did right on dot, and then the project manager said, Ravi, hats off, I can't believe that you delivered. So this is what I enjoy, the challenges, whether it is creativity or whether it is project management, getting involved in a project. Now we recently did L&T Infotech at Hyderabad, and it's been receiving a huge accolades from the entire team of the client, that this is one of their best offices they have all over India.
Super.
And it's been appreciated a lot. Many people are coming and seeing that office. Yes, this is what something that not seen earlier.
Okay.
So in the next projects also something more should happen.
Super.
And the best is yet to come.
Okay. Definitely, sir.
Yeah.
Then what about your apartment projects, sir? Residentials and all?
Research projects we do, not that we are not doing, and we are doing in a good, again the style and the quality remains the same.
Okay.
As I said that I like the projects which are challenge to me. Somebody should challenge that I want better than this.
Yes.
Somebody should say, yes, let's not stop with this. And I am definitely there to accept the challenges. Whether it is apartment, whether it is IT, whether it is banking, whether it is retail. Yes, we are versatile. I have done a project which is typically like a Rajasthan Haveli. I am sure you know Rajasthan architecture.
Yes.
It is done with stone and lot of carving. A very typical architecture, Rajasthan architecture. You will not see anywhere else other than Rajasthan. But I have done a project here in Chennai, which will make you feel that you are sitting in Jaisalmer. So it is as close to that.
Okay.
From a project which is as modern as what is rated as a futuristic project and futuristic trends in interiors, which are like agile architecture forms, different shapes, IoT based interior and design, sensor based entire mechanism.
Okay.
More than BMS and IBMS is the IoT thing which is also getting integrated with this. So we are there. We are there to take care of any need, any kind of design, and we will ensure that it is delivered to its perfection. So that's where it is. Yeah.
Then the statutory norms are different in different states.
Yes.
How you are understanding that particular state, this is the statutory norms for this state like that?
Knowledge is available now today.
Okay.
Licensing officers are there, available everywhere. So it is up to them to get it that. We don't get involved in approval per se.
Oh, fine.
We are not in approval. We will make the design which will suit to the statutory norms. And a discussion there, books are available, everything is on net nowadays. The world is not like, you have to sit there to understand. Sitting here, I know what is the norm in Maharashtra or West Bengal today.
Because nowadays getting approval is somewhat too tedious now.
That is for builders or the other thing, and as I said that we are not getting involved in that. That is one area which we are not very seriously looking at as part of my practice per se. We leave it to the licensing officers who do this work. We will recommend, and the client has to interact with him directly and get it.
Okay.
So that's all. So we want to focus being architect,
Okay.
being designer, being creative, not that portion. That doesn't involve any extra creativity.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah.
Then recently the Tamil Nadu government has announced the FSI changes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the changes, sir?
But architecturally, to be honest, FSI increase is not a great requirement in a city like Chennai.
Okay.
FSI increase is required in certain areas, certain pockets, not everywhere. It has more to do with a policy decision, what is the vision of city, and what does the city planner think and approving authority think how the city should grow. Historically, Chennai has been a horizontal growth city. That's why it didn't have a high FSI and we don't have a skyscrapers. Now they are changing the requirement of city. Already city has grown a very large extent. It has become a big horizontal space. If you go for now high rises suddenly in the middle of city, the big question is, are we having the right infrastructure to give that FSI?
Yes.
Are the roads wide enough? Are we in position to give the power? Are the transformer are good enough? Is there water and sewer line provided, which will take the extra flow, which will burden this, and will the traffic be a more problematic? But they already had this 30 years, 40 years ago.
Yes.
And they created their infrastructure that time suiting to that, which today also it fails.
Okay.
In monsoons every now and then we see it fails, right? So why we are getting into this in this city? I think the first paramount requirement is to create infrastructure, then you increase FSI whatever you want. There is no problem. People should live happily and comfortably.
Yes.
That should be the priority than this. And also FSI increase will only benefit if the other rules are relaxed. There are a lot of rules which are not yet so friendly to implement that FSI. And that is also creating a architectural stiffness for us to design.
Okay.
We are not getting that creative freedom to design in certain way owing to the certain regulations on say setback or footprint or balconies. If these are taken care and more freedom to given to design, that will also give a different architectural pictures and different architectural buildings to the city. I think more relaxation required for that also, to give freedom to design.
Why people need to choose design square, sir? Is there any specific on you?
Specific on me is I am versatile. Okay, as I said, I can design from a palace to a very efficient smart toilet. Which is really can be called as a good toilet design. I can design from an ancient building to a very very modern and a futuristic trendy design.
Okay.
Whether it is architecture or interior. So that is our strength. We are able to visualize a client and we are able to understand a client and deliver something suiting to him, not suiting to me.
Okay.
I want to work for him because that is his building, that is his project, and he should feel happy about it.
Definitely. Yes.
So that is where this versatility thing came into my mind that I should practice in this category. There are architects whom if you see a building, you know this is designed by this architect, by the elevation of it. I don't want to be one amongst that.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
Okay, as a veteran architect, what did you want to see your younger generation architects?
Younger generation has to work more than making presentation drawing. they have to really get into detailing, and detailing is what separates design, and that is what stands out as a design. Detailing is what going to matter a lot, whether it is a design of a table or a cabinet or a small house or a retreat home. Detailing and understanding is really matters a lot, and that is a mantra of success also. So the young architects, yes, they must use technology, they must do presentation in order to convince a client or present their ideas, but they should also know how to implement it in a 2D drawing.
Okay.
What can be executed, not remain a Photoshop picture or not remain a 3D rendered image. So I think the younger generation should work on that area very strongly and integrate this, and should study more.
Yes.
The younger architects should study more.
As an architect, what do you want to say to general public?
I will tell general public, trust the architect. Very important that they should trust the architect, give freedom to architect, give your vision what you want, and let him deliver for you.
Okay.
He is there to work for you, to save your money, to save your headaches, to save your so many other things. You don't become an architect or you don't become a designer to save something. It's not going to work. Definitely architect who has spent years in learning and honing his skills is your friend to take you further. So use it, and I'm sure you will enjoy the journey together.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I wish all the success to you.
Thank you.
To your team. But they already had this 30 years, 40 years ago.
Please.
And they created their infrastructure that time suiting to that, which today also it fails.
Okay.
In monsoons, every now and then we see it fails, right? So why we are getting into this in this city? I think the first paramount requirement is to create an infrastructure. Then you increase FSI whatever you want. There is no problem. People should live happily and comfortably.
Yes.
That should be the priority than this. And also FSI increase will only benefit if the other rules are relaxed. There are a lot of rules which are not yet so friendly to implement that FSI. And that is also creating a architectural stiffness for us to design.
Okay.
We are not getting that creative freedom to design in certain way owing to the certain regulations on say setback or footprint or balconies. If these are taken care and more freedom to given to design, that will also give a different architectural pictures and different architectural buildings to the city. I think more relaxation required for that also, to give freedom to design.
Why people need to choose Design Square, sir? Is there any specific on you?
Specific on me is I am versatile. Okay, as I said, I can design from a palace to a very efficient smart toilet. Which is really can be called as a good toilet design. I can design from an ancient building to a very, very modern and a futuristic trendy design.
Okay.
Whether it is architecture or interior. So that is our strength. We are able to visualize a client and we are able to understand a client and deliver something suiting to him, not suiting to me.
Okay.
I want to work for him because that is his building, that is his project, and he should feel happy about it.
Definitely. Yes.
So that is where this versatility thing came into my mind, that I should practice in this category. There are architects whom if you see a building, you know this is designed by this architect by the elevation of it. I don't want to be one amongst that.
Okay, super.
Yeah.
Okay, as a veteran architect, what did you want to say your younger generation architects?
Younger generation has to work more than making presentation drawing. They have to really get into detailing, and detailing is what separates design, and that is what stands out as a design. Detailing is what going to matter a lot, whether it is a design of a table or a cabinet or a small house or a retreat home. Detailing and understanding is really matters a lot, and that is the mantra of success also. So the young architects, yes, they must use technology, they must do presentation in order to convince a client or present their ideas, but they should also know how to implement it in a 2D drawing.
Okay.
What can be executed, not remain a Photoshop picture or not remain a 3D rendered image. So I think the younger generation should work on that area very strongly and integrate this, and should study more.
Yes.
The younger architects should study more.
As an architect, what do you want to say to general public?
I will tell general public, trust the architect. First of all, very important that they should trust the architect. Give freedom to architect. Give your vision what you want, and let him deliver for you.
Okay.
He is there to work for you, to save your money, to save your headaches, to save your so many other things. You don't become an architect or you don't become a designer to save something. It's not going to work. Definitely architect who has spent years in learning and honing his skills is your friend to take you further. So use it, and I'm sure you will enjoy the journey together.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for your wonderful time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I wish all the success to you.
Thank you.
And to your team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
you.
Yeah.